Never a dull moment in all kinds of weather. I feel like we are in all kinds of it right now, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what weather this is, but it's a pretty intense one here. We've got a lot to go over today, as today has been absolute mayhem. Following the two firings yesterday, I thought today maybe, I'm just kidding. I knew today was going to be an extra spice and mayhem, and here we are. No firings, but a lot of murmuring, a lot of talking around, a lot of chatter of possible guys entering into the portal. Some names that we were hoping not to hear, but we all felt in the bottom of our gut it could possibly happen. Names like Shamar James, Trevor Etienne's been dropped a few. Will Norman, that name's been tossed around for the last few weeks now. So we're going to talk about some of those names and kind of how much of it is just smoke, how much of it is just Twitter drama and just fans kind of just taking things out of proportion, and giving my two takes on it. But before we get into that, I do want to discuss Xavier Phillips. So this has kind of been a weird thing in the making of him possibly flipping to Texas. We talked about it last night on the show, where we watched his live, an Instagram live with LJ McCray and DJ Lagway, where he confirmed, I'm not going anywhere. I'm a Gator, baby. But then this morning, On3 dropped another video talking about a possible flip to Texas. So it's a weird situation, and it's On3 trying to just pump something that isn't going to happen, because Xavier continues to come out and say this is not true. A player from Texas even tweeted at him trying to recruit him. Xavier kind of took a jab at that. It just seems like this weird thing continues to happen. Again, On3, typically when they post these flip alerts, they post these projections, you go to their site, they'll have a percentage changing for these teams. None of that has happened yet, okay? Texas hasn't moved up as a potential flip. It's still pretty locked in for Florida. So none of that has happened, but they continue to discuss it, continue to talk about it. Obviously, after that secret visit last week, really got the ball rolling once again. That is it a possibility that Xavier could flip? Although, just 24 hours ago, he stated that he is an absolute lock. Now, this morning, he woke up and tweeted a little tiger, which got everybody in a frenzy once again, then deleted it. It is the world of recruit right now. It is absolutely mayhem currently. But look, a lot of things are changing. A lot of things are moving around. I know what Xavier said on his Instagram live last night, but we've got to take everything kind of as it is. And I'm not quite sure how this thing is going to unfold. But as of now, I feel confident and secure in his recruitment to the Florida Gators based on the words that have come out of his mouth. Again, I know we're hearing certain things, and I've kind of been seeing On3 continue to post this stuff, and that's why I'm kind of figuring out it's the Texas insiders, where they're really pumping the noise of a possible flip that Texas is making a move. So again, how much smoke is really there? They kind of just trying to see what could be stirring up. I don't know. On3, they've been good about being I would say kind of on point with this. So I'm not sure about that one again, because the words that are coming out of Xavier's mouth are completely different. So we'll continue to monitor it as this. We've got, just a little bit over 20 days here until that signing day happens in December. Hopefully he does sign, so we don't have to go through January of worrying about who's leaving, who's not leaving, etc. So that's some big time news on Xavier Phillips in May, and we'll continue to monitor it, especially with the quarterback coach and Corey Raymond being let go by the Florida Gators. That got a lot of people scared on what could be happening. Now, next up, Trevor Etitenne, the big elephant in the room. Shelton, why are you making me wait so long? The murmurs is that he's entering the transfer portal, and multiple schools are looking at him. The two big names that are being tossed around right now, obviously, are Georgia and LSU. Now, this is where things start to get fishy, right? Because now we're rolling into the telephone game. How much of it's true? How much of it isn't? The one thing that I will stand by that I believe is a legitimate truth that has some smoke behind it is that there probably was some interest for Trevor Etitenne to go into the portal. Reason being, multiple people have been talking about it. Multiple that I speak to and that I trust have also said this as well. Then it was also, again, confirmed by Jacob Rudder from 247, who is a reliable source. So that kind of confirmed that, hey, there was been some conversations. They are in a meeting currently. It must be the longest meeting ever, because we haven't heard anything since. It's been radio silence about what's happening here. Now, as for his reasons leaving, there's multiple reasons. Everyone, again, telephone game. It's money. It's wanting to win. It's more playing time. No one knows exactly which one it truly is. You can kind of have your opinion on whichever one that it is. I think if it's money, that should be a no-brainer. If that's the only issue, where do you need us to direct a deposit to check, Trevor? If it's more playing time, again, that's going to fall on Billy of how do you want to manage that relationship. If it's wanting to win, I get it. So look, man, it's going to be tough. We'll see. I do believe, though, if Billy were to lose Trevor Etitenne, he would no longer be Billy Ballsack. He would no longer be Billy Buzzcut, but he'll be Billy Ballcut, because they'll be one to scalp that man if he loses Trevor Etitenne in the transfer portal. And look, I've been telling you this, the team Billy, that team has been shrinking. They lose Trevor, it's going to be a big one. Now, there's been noise on possible, how do we fill that role if he were to leave? We're not going to get into all that because, again, we're getting heavily into the telephone game. I felt that it was important, though, to come on here and try to speak to the masses, to have a conversation about it, to open up the dialogue a little bit versus just where everyone's screaming at each other on Twitter of like, what's happening, this is happening, whatever. The baseline we've got right now is that there was talks, they're in conversation, there could be a possibility. At this point, that's all we know. Here's what sucks, though. The portal opens up on the 5th, doesn't close till about mid-January. So unless Trevor Etitenne comes out and says, I am not going anywhere, we're good, we're locked and loaded, I feel like this could be something that we have weighing on our chest for the next 30 or so days, on top of who's going to be the next D-line coach, who's going to be the next cornerback coach, are there going to be more firings like offensive line? Little boys and girls, it might be the craziest offseason the Florida Gators have had in a very long time. We thought hiring Billy and firing Mullen was going to be nuts. Hold your beer, boys and girls. Buckle up, sit tight, because turbulence is just getting started. All right, so be sure to smash the like button, subscribe. Again, turn the bell on because you don't know when something's going to drop. Just like last night, we went live. Cam Jackson came on. It was an absolute blast. Also note, Cam Jackson will be announcing whether or not he'll be staying in Florida or going to the NFL on Friday. Spoke with him. He plans to be on the show on Friday to discuss his decision on wherever he does go. You don't want to miss that either. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.